These are the 20 most terrifying moments in NBA history. We are being asked to slowly and calmly evacuate the building. He's struggling with his balance right now. He is shaking up big time. And first is Matt Bianco, left fans horrified. And Bianco just sort of collapses and hits the floor in immediate concern. That was terrifying. And so is Corey Brewer's nightmare at no. 'Cause an easy dunk had everyone thinking they were about to witness a funeral. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. That was a hard fall right there. Left my man terrified, just like the fans at no. 18. 'Cause during the middle of NBA Summer League, the entire stadium rumble, and we can feel tremors here. Wealthy in the building, the score clock is shifting ever so slightly. So people are heading to the exits as we speak. But no, 17 was even scarier, 'cause Marquis Daniels went face first into a blackout. Both ends of the floor. Went up to block the shot of Wiggins. And you see that as the head got caught back thanks to the forearm, and then he hit his head. And that was hard to see, but look, sometimes it's not even players who are in trouble. 'Cause at no. 14 Dennis Rodman went off at a cameraman. He kicked the cameraman. He was really upset. Really upset. Went up in the air, came down at a camera. You thought he sprained his ankle, but things got even more terrifying in the NBA. Just ask Rocky the Mountain Lion at no. 13. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Luckily dude just passed out. But no. 12 took a live mishap to the limit. 'Cause the Hawks announcer was on live TV when he lost consciousness. Every night, and he feels like he's belonged. So I look for this kid to have a really good. But if that wasn't terrifying enough for no, Gordon Hayward went through hell. Look, it was Hayward's first game with the Celtics, and as he went up for a dunk, he came down in the worst way possible. Oh my, it's great sportsmanship, I mean fantastic. The beauty of sports. This is why sports brings people together. And you feel so unfortunate for Gordon Hayward, who is such a fabulous guy. His first game in a Boston Celtic uniform. That's an injury people will never forget. But it was nothing like the punishment the player at no. I'm talking about a moment that went down as one of the most remembered horrors in NBA history. See, in 1977, a fight broke out between the Rockets and Lakers. Now Rudy Tomjanovich ran out to break up the fight, but Kermit Washington was already on edge. When he saw another body running after him, he swung hard now. His punch did damage beyond belief, 'cause Rudy barely made it to the hospital to stay alive. I mean, dude fractured his skull, broke his jaw and nose, and caused fluid to leak into his brain, and his emergency room surgery ended his all-star trajectory right there. But things got even scarier at no. 'Cause Lou Williams had to think fast before he was shot. See, tell this guy something fast. So, his defense became McDonald's. He said, man, I just got out of jail, only thing I got is a bus ticket. Bro, I'm out here starving. And I was just thinking on my feet. I said, look bro, it's a McDonald's right there. You meet me at the McDonald's. I'll buy you whatever you want. He said, alright, cool. So my first thought was, do I let him get in my car? I was like, hell no. So, I start driving first. Yeah, and I watched him running across to the McDonald's. So while he ran to McDonald's, a man like, yo, pull back up. Like, pull up to the McDonald's. Pull up to the McDonald's. They made the story like I sat down and ate with him. Hell no, the motherfucker. Order food, I swiped my card. Yeah, I shook his hand. Say God bless, bro. But this ain't the way. And by that time, my man was walking in McDonald's. But if you think that's terrifying, the player no. It is still lucky to be here. DJ Williams was supposed to be the next big thing in the NBA. The guy was a college phenom in 2002. But then tragedy struck, not on the court, but on the streets, cause Jay violated his team contract to ride his Yamaha. I was headed towards a utility pole going 670 miles per hour, and I tried to turn the bike at the last second. I wasn't able to get out of my own way. And the pole clipped the whole left side of my body. And the next thing I know, I'm laying on the grass. No area between the sidewalk and the curb. My chest is laying on as if I'm laying on my stomach. The curb is pushed up against my navel, and my legs are laying on the street as if I'm laying on my side. And every time I kept rubbing my leg, I kept looking at my hands ready to see blood, and I didn't see anything. And it was at that something moment in my soul just told me. I threw it all away and I started screaming it out. I threw it all away. The impact left him with severe injuries. A shattered pelvis, 3 torn ligaments in his knee, and nerve damage to his leg. Doctors weren't just questioning if he played basketball. They weren't sure he walked. My right foot, I think about pulling up. When I walk with my left foot, I think about pulling inward. So essentially when I walk, it's like this, so I mean, to retrain yourself how to walk like that, and then let alone try to run. For it to become second-hand nature. It took a long time from a future all. That was a close call. But Nate Robinson was even more helpless at no. Nate had a career that could only be described as full of heart. He was a 5'9", three-time slam dunk champion, and had an energy that never quit. But behind all that jump out the building dunking, Nate was quietly battling something much scarier. And Nate avoided these issues while being bounced around the league and making huge plays. But his health issues couldn't be avoided any longer. 2006, my doctor, Lisa Callahan, found my blood pressure to be pretty high. And they ran tests and did a whole bunch of stuff, and seen that my kidneys were failing. And I always was healthy when I was a kid. I always was healthy growing up. You know, I never was sick. Always had good health. And there were times where I got sick. And I was just throwing up. And I couldn't control what was going on. And they had to put me in the hospital for a couple days. And now, come out feeling greater than I've ever felt before. So, I just, kept dealing with the routine. Over the years, his fiancée were rushed to the hospital, and while this was going on, Gabo was facing his most terrifying enemy yet. As after the club was shut down, one wrong move and Felicia suffered the worst injury of his career. Stop, oh my god. The scuffle left him with a broken leg and nerve damage that needed surgery immediately. The officer came from behind and kicked me in the leg. And you had ligament damage. Correct as well, Yeah, it was a serious injury. Now the effects from the injury were long-lasting, as Felicia was never the same place. So, he was out for revenge. And even though he was charged with obstruction, he later fought the charge and won his civil suit for $4 million. And as for Copeland, he never got a payout for his tears. His struggle to return from injury marked the beginning of the end of his playing days. But at least they got to keep their lives. Cause Dragan and Petrovic wasn't so lucky. We got to talk about how the modern of basketball had the most tragic ending to a career ever. See, this guy wasn't just any NBA player. He was a guy putting Europe on the map in the Dragan was riding shotgun in a car with his girlfriend, cruising through Germany. The roads were slick, and in one terrifying moment, the car slammed into a truck. Dragan, who wasn't wearing a seatbelt, was killed on impact. He was about to change the way the world viewed European players in the NBA, and suddenly he was gone. But look, we've reached the top 3. These moments aren't just terrifying, they're scary, and at no 3. We got the most chilling disappearance the world has ever heard of. See, after helping the Chicago Bulls win a championship in 1997, Bison Dale decided to step away from basketball while he was still in his prime. I mean, most guys will kill for his career, but Bison, he wanted freedom. So, he traded arenas for adventure, and he eventually bought a catamaran, setting sail on the open ocean. But in 2002, during one of his voyages in the South Pacific, things took a dark turn cause Bison, his girlfriend Serena, the boat's captain, and his brother Miles, the board were all aboard on the boat, and then poof. They vanished for weeks. No one heard from them. That was until Bison's brother's player. He was a hometown hero, a Memphis legend who played 13 seasons in the league, known for his hustle heart and love for his community. But in July 2nd, 2010, Lauritsen vanished without a trace. Days later, that desperation turned into horror, cause his body was discovered in a wooded area outside of Memphis. Details were brutal. He had been shot multiple times, execution style, but even more chilling. A 911 call he made the night of his murder, where you could hear the terror. Jordan 911, what is your emergency? Hello. 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 Now for 7 years. His case went cold, no suspects, no arrest, just an eerie silence surrounding his death. But in 2017, the truth finally began to unravel, as police found the murder weapon in a nearby lake, and it led them straight to Lorenzo's ex-wife, Shirley Wright, and her accomplice, Lily Ray Turner. Did you have any part in Lorenzo's murder? But I'm good at doing them. They need to spend time and focus and find out what happened to him. We all need to know. It turned out that his former lover had orchestrated the entire thing, hiring Turner to carry out the hit as a part of a twisted plot to cash in on Lorenzo's wife. Insurance for million of betrayal. So cold it sent shivers down the spines of everyone who ever cheered him on. But look, we've hit the final moment on our list. This one still feels unreal. See, Kobe Bryant wasn't just an NBA legend. He was basketball royalty. 5 rings, countless unforgettable moments, and a mentality that inspired millions around the globe. He was the kind of guy you thought was untouchable, immortal even. On January 26, 2020, the world came to a standstill cause Kobe His 13-year-old daughter Gianna and 7 others boarded a helicopter, headed to a basketball tournament. It was just another day for the Mamba. Quick flight to save time, something he'd done countless times before. This time tragedy struck. In the dense morning fog over Calabasas, California, the helicopter lost control and crashed. This was gone, so the first day on the floor, NBA players honored their superhero by letting the 20-per-second shot clock reach the heaven. And like every team has done in every game this week, they will take a 20-per-second violation. Each team will do so, or perhaps an 8-second on the second team. And tribute to Kobe Bryant's to retired jerseys. No, 24 and number 8. The tragedy didn't just rock the basketball world. It rocked everyone from fans to players, to even those who didn't follow sports. The grief was universal. The thought of Kobe and Gianna, a father and daughter, taken so suddenly and so senselessly, was too much to bear.